Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kevin Plays Disc Golf. Today we have a list of my 10 favorite disc golf holes that I played in 2025. My name is Kevin, and I play disc golf. This is my top 10 list. There are many like it, but this one is mine. For a couple of criteria here, I have to have actually played the hole in the 2025 calendar year. Chances are that if there is a really good hole that I'm omitting that I have a video for, this is why. Sorry to the Valley Hole 4 and Moody Park Hole 9, I didn't get there in 2025. I played several courses and have not gone through and edited all of the footage that I have, so there is one honorable mention and 2 of the top 10 holes on this list that are from courses that I have not yet completed videos for. Think of these as previews for future playthrough videos. A couple of things to keep in mind here. I really don't like losing discs. If there's a high probability of losing a disc on a hole that is otherwise great, it's not going to make this list. Sorry, Canberra Hole 11. Though there are several holes with water on them on my list, only one hole has water that is deep enough to lose a disc, and there is a viable option to avoid the water on that hole completely. Also, I play predominantly right-hand forehand for distance, so there are not many right-hand backhand Spike Heiser holes on my list. I have limited myself to one hole per course on the main list. I played 30 different courses this year, most of which were 18 or more holes, so I have plenty of options to choose from. Additionally, I'm a glutton for punishment, so all of these are from the longest course configuration available unless otherwise mentioned. As it turns out, the honorable mentions are comprised exclusively of hole number 12, so I guess I'll call these 3 holes tied for 12. Though they are all hole 12, the holes are very different. Squamineganick Hole 12 is a 630-foot double dogleg par 5 that is potentially eagleable with an incredibly precise drive and an excellent second shot, but that doesn't make it an easy par as the third shot ends up being the longest of the fairway shots to get to the basket. Bellamy Park Hole 12 is a 317-foot uphill par 4 through a narrow gap. This got bumped out of the top 10 primarily because of the disc safety issue, where a bad tree kick left loses a disc in the river. This is enough uphill that justifies the par 4 nature and requires 2 well-placed throws to get a birdie opportunity, assuming you don't throw it in from 110 feet out. WLC Disc Golf Course, Hole 12, a slightly uphill 242-foot par 3 would not have been on last year's list of the top 10 holes that I played, but there have been a couple of trees that have been removed, and it's just enough to make it not feel like you're just getting lucky if you miss all the trees and get close to the basket now without removing all of the challenge. And now, on to the list of my favorite holes that I played in 2025. My 10th favorite hole is Otterbrook Hole 10, a 320-foot par 3 in Keene, New Hampshire. Keeping with the trend of matching entry numbers to hole numbers, here we have Hole 10 at Otterbrook. My enjoyment for this hole, probably more than any other on this list, has to do more with me playing right-hand forehand, as this is the ideal throw for this hole. It's also downhill to the basket after the 165-foot tree with a small creek that plays as casual water. It's a difficult hole, but it doesn't feel unfair. My 9th favorite hole that I played this year was the Hollows North Hole 16, specifically the long basket location, which is a par 4 at either 438 feet from the blue tees or 368 feet from the white tees in Manchester, New Hampshire. The deviation from the hole numbers in the ranking on my list had to end sometime, so here it is. This hole has many different options for how to play it based on your strengths as a player, but no matter how hard you try, the 2 throws end up being quite different. From the blue tee, the first shot ends up being level to slightly uphill, where the second is significantly downhill. This is a neat hole. Moving on to my 8th favorite hole that I played in 2025, we have the Chester Disc Golf Course Hole 14, a 376-foot par 4 in Chester, Vermont. This is a relatively short par 4, but the drive is all about placement, not distance. With the tee shot being steeply downhill, it's very difficult to judge exactly how hard to throw your tee shot to leave yourself with a clear second shot at the basket. It also has a tricky undulating green with a few guardian trees that makes putting a challenge. Coming in at number 7 for my favorite holes I played in 2025 is Memorial Park Hole 10, a 475-foot par 4 in West Brattleboro, Vermont. Even with the white tees being moved from under the ski jump into the main fairway this year, thus eliminating a unique tee shot by moving it to what is granted an overall safer location, there is just something about this hole that feels really good that's difficult to pinpoint. It requires 2 good precise throws, and though it punishes bad shots, a bad tree kick will only cost 1 shot, not several. The approach shot will vary depending on exactly where your tee shot lands, and though there are trees that you have to miss, it feels like no matter where you are, it feels possible to miss all the trees with a well-placed and well-shaped throw. At number 6, I have Squamish Hole 16, which is a 260-foot par 3 in Rochester, New Hampshire. This hole has 2 creeks to cross, it's downhill off a cliff, there are a multitude of trees to avoid, but it's a fair shot with virtually no chance of losing a disc. This is the ultimate fake danger hole. As a minor spoiler, this is the only course that there are 2 holes from on this list. Moving into the top 5, we have Marlborough School Hole 6, which is a 146-foot par 3 in Marlborough, Vermont. You may be asking yourself, why is there a sub 150-foot par 3 at an elementary school on this list at all, never mind one cracking the top 5? It's a beautiful hole going up a small creek. It's uphill with a low ceiling and trees to avoid and requires a good throw. Sure, it's a birdie for most, but for a hole that is designed for elementary school kids or anyone learning the game, and to get them interested in disc golf and to get them to have fun outside throwing things, I can't think of anywhere that I have seen it done better. Coming in at number 4, we have Watson Lake Hole 6, a 279-foot par 3 in Prescott, Arizona. Yes, I played a course in Arizona this year, and according to UDisc, it was the most scenic of the 30 courses that I played. I'm not sure I agree with that, however, Hole 6 is picturesque and is quite a challenge. The tee shot is over a deep gully, and the pin is on top of a narrow rocky ridge. This is an excellent example of how to use the terrain to make a spectacular hole. Moving into the top 3, we have Northwind Disc Golf Course Hole 7 in Hopkinton, New Hampshire, a 589-foot par 4. Unfortunately, this course is now listed as permanently closed on UDisc. Hole 7 had it all. Multiple options, 2 water hazards, downhill on the first shot, uphill on the second, and a well-designed green. The pond where you are most likely to lose a disc could be avoided entirely at the cost of a longer approach shot for the risk-reward factor. This was a gem of a hole. Coming in at number 2 on my top 10 holes that I played in 2025 is Westy Acres Hole 3 in Greenfield, Massachusetts. A 488-foot par 4 for the blue and white layout or a par 3 for the gold layout. Pretty much everything that applies to Northwind Hole 7 applies here, with a narrower fairway and with OB near the green thrown in. This is my favorite hole on a beautiful course, and Westy Acres being in UDisc's top 100 courses in the world is completely justified. And in the top spot, my favorite hole that I played in 2025 was Stony Brook Hole 11 in Richmond, New Hampshire, a 242-foot par 3. When I played this course, the back 9 holes were not finished, signage was not in place, this hole did not yet have a permanent tee box, didn't have a permanent basket in place, and a bridge over the creek between holes 6 and 11 was being actively built on the day I was playing. That should tell you how special of a hole this is. There are multiple paths with a big risk-reward option for how aggressive you want to be without the danger of losing a disc even if you do end up in the creek. Though I have not yet been back since the full 18-hole course was finished, I will definitely be going back there in 2026. This may not be the most difficult hole around, but it is challenging enough and has a plethora of options to want to play this hole multiple times just to figure out what works best. So there you have it, my list of my 10 favorite holes that I played in 2025. Let me know in the comments if you think I did well with this or if I'm way off base, or if you know of other holes in central New England that you think I should play that have holes that should make the cut next year. Check out my channel for playthroughs of all of these courses and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you can see when the full playthrough videos of Bellamy Park, Westy Acres, and all of the other courses that I played in 2025 that I haven't edited yet and released come out.